not have a good game in the previous iteration of Mirage that we saw. Basically just had no engagements whatsoever on the CT side. And look at those odds from our partners at 1xBet. Just mousesports, a 459 to G2 a 120. I feel that's pretty accurate. There's very few worlds where I see mousesports being able to take this one away. And no matter what happens, they need A core activated for my money.
Kit available here for Dexter, but they're already moving in towards that A bomb site. Smokes are down, and they're looking to overwhelm Rops. One kill's not going to quite cut it. Jax and Nico coming in with the entries, and it's a 4-on-2 right off the cuff.
You know those rounds where you decide to save like 10 seconds into it? This might be one of them, but Dexter has shown us he's not too much of a fan. The flashbang will assist G2 in taking complete control over CT, but Dexter! Oh. Jax has been on point, dude. He's so good.
Yeah.
Like, I still remember when Jax was initially signed to G2 Esports, there's all these people saying, who is he? Who cares? You know, he's not going to do much. He's old by esports standards. Eat your words. Eat your words. The guy's insane.
Yeah, really strong pistol round here from him. And reading into exactly where Dexter was positioned, right on the money. You know, they went for that double flash play, saw nobody. Like, hey, wait a second. Let's just clear out these cubbies. Hold for them. Could have been fully blinded and taken some cover. G2, what a pistol straight out of the first map into the second. With that early advantage, Mouse didn't really stand much of a chance. They needed Rops to step up with more than just the one kill, but he got overran. I mean, it's a tall order.
Michael, Nico doesn't have head armor. Sure, it's against Deagle, so there is that, but you're always a little bit scared when you see an AK without head armor on the terrorist side. Now, fortunately for him, or maybe it's a conscious decision, and it's just a read, mousesports do have the only pistol which doesn't punish you for not having head armor. But equally deadly. Still, a hit towards that A-bomb side is coming through. Bemis and Dexter waiting right around the corner. Dexter trying to keep an eye on what's going on over here. Dexter and Bemis jumping about, can't land the shot. It's only frozen. They get one. Even our observer's confused.
Wouldn't blame him. A-core and Rops all that remain. Smokes are faded finally, but that bomb will go down rather shortly. They're still hesitant because they know that people could be waiting by the wayside. A-core at the stairs. And Rops will take the peek, and it's going to be a miss. He does have armor, no head armor though, so if he did get jumping shot around the corner, could have potentially been deadly. Yeah, just gonna try and save. There's armor on Rops, so he can drop a scout over to another teammate. A-core, not a favorable fight. It almost looked like he lagged out as well. Just no reaction to getting shot in that manner. Either way, it's going to be a Rop survival story. But G2.
This hunt's not really worth it for them considering how many AKs they have, so sure you can chuck a Mac 10 at them, but at the same time you know that it's going to be an eco in the next one. Mac 10s are arguably equally valuable to an AK in that situation.
I mean, hey, they're building money here on this G2 side, so that the additional cash that could be granted here from all of these SMGs on top.
This is really big. I mean, you've only had 2 casualties in 2 rounds. That's not easy. Oh, I like it. G2 even got themselves the kilo smokes down, the instant mid smokes where you can throw from spawn. Obviously, very important. Little advantage that it can give to you, something that people don't necessarily realize all the time, but still. Nexa, all alone in middle, but with this many unarmored opponents against him, he is fine with going forth. Surprised that Frozen's actually opted to go for a full head armor in this round as well. Can't afford. That's a bomb spotted out.
Yeah, just really probing for information here on that G2 side. Don't want to fall into a stack, understandably so. They're just playing out the clock. Time troubles is usually a problem that Mouse have more so than some others. G2 know not to fall victim. They've been doing rather well so far. Jax does get shot on the back a few times, but they have moved in towards a B-sided stack, and they should look for information here on the G2 side. With time running even further down, it's going to be a bit of a concern.
I mean, that's the first kill for Bemis already found, so they should have an idea where they're headed to. The stack should start to rotate right about now. Robs with the scout will be blocked away by Armanex for a little while, but Armanex just waiting inside jungle for them to cross over. Nico, meanwhile, flashbang goes through. They will need to peek. The bomb's not being planted just quite yet, and as it starts, Bemis has got another one. This is so much damage. This could be the round, and Nico's gone as well. Back to a 2-on-2. Deagle in Frozen's hand with the head armor. Maybe it comes into effect after all. Jax is very low. He's the only one with an AK, so firepower-wise, Frozen can go for this, but as always, the time is what is against him. No kit. And Armanek is not caught out. Goes for the wide swing. Will find the kill, but that's so much damage for mousesports to find. Bemis, with that extra money, even has, he's got himself a lot more utility than maybe he would have otherwise.
Yeah, still on the rotates as well. The additional paranoia that jungle have been compromised for an extended period of time. After Bemis gets that kill, they don't push towards jungle to get additional avenues into the bomb site. So you can see the hesitation, even though he pulled it close enough where it was contestable in a 1-on-2. Enough about that, though. Gun round. AWP for A-Core. We're seeing some changes up, and he's in straight into Palace, finding the first, and there were more players spotted out here for G2, so this may give up the game early.
Robs loves to go for this play, but G2 have got to know this with how much prep they've clearly done for it. Nico's so aggressive with that op. Goes all the way up short while he's hard scoped. Just no worries from a connector at all, courtesy of Jax's positioning. A-Core, though, he might be aware of what is to come. This is something that was true in FaZe Clan as well, actually. But I'm going to hold the point while Jax holds the angle, waiting for A-Core to come into him. But A-Core is not losing that one out. Bemis, as always, great on the defensive A main. Lays Hunter and hit yellow.
Oh, makes his way out. The drop is good on Bemis, but Rops is there to clean up the pieces. Doubles for A-Core and Rops alike. And that opening pick, we saw A-Core go for explorations like that, and we actually saw Rops leaning into the double AWP, so much so on the CT side here from Mouse, with Rops actually getting more and more success, typically over towards that A side. So A-Core looking to take a bit more of a stance that direction. It's already paying off.
Oh baby, yes. That is That's such a nice smoke, actually. I'll talk about that later, because Hunter's already found himself 2 kills. As over towards Palace, but they were trying to get aggressive. Frozen's got so much work to do. The smoke is helping him out, yes, but even so, he is not moving. Armanex right below him. Hunter's missed shot, though, could cost them. It's back to a 2v3. A round that should have been a gimme is so heavily contested. Frozen, pushed off, still waiting around.
Yeah, that nerdy smoke combo and jump did pay off initially, but yeah, just way too much damage being bled on over. And they're moving away, rotating towards that A side. See them gathering up in towards the spawn, and it's going to be complete information starvation for Mouse. Desperate for just a slither, a bite, a crumb of what G2 are up to.
Dexter's positioning is going to be key. There's 2 players from Palace. He needs to find them both. The bomb as well. If he drops it at this stage, that could be huge. But instead, he's choosing to back off. And now he's missed the opportunity. He will see the first and gets it. Even has time to tuck himself away into a tiny little corner. Will stay alive for a while longer. And Frozen can't defend. Jax has been allowed to cross over towards Dexter's side of jungle. The grenade, though, is massive. But he's not down yet. A 7 HP is all that differentiates Armanek from death, and that is soon taken away, but Jax still uses his position nicely. Dexter, 1 shot away from death, and Jax might not have realized the cross. Now he's suspecting it, peeking out. And where he's generally known for the entries, this time it is the clutch. G2 winning out a ridiculous round.
Yeah, what a set of frags there for Hunter. How on earth does he manage that one? And the difference between that round being won for G2 or lost, armor on Armanek. that nade doesn't finish the job. If he doesn't have armor, he's a done deal. They can play a 2-on-1 from there. Far more feasible. We know Mouse have struggled on some of these half-buy, low-buy situations, and again, it strikes true on a map they needed to start off well on.
And just the decision to have two players getting highly aggressive in the Palace when you know you're against a weak buy, that's just one I can't get behind. Information is key. That's great, but Mouse does this so often, where they'll send players into a position where you are susceptible to being taken down one by one. This is true for Mirage, this is true for Inferno. In Inferno, they generally do it in apartments. The exact same thing. Definitely a drawing board that's got a couple of big old question marks.
Yeah, G2 looking to prevent them from progress in another tournament. This is elimination here at the DreamHack Masters Spring. And Mouse do not seem up to the task. G2 so much cleaner in a lot of instances. We've seen a few mistakes, but far and few between. We'll see if this 1-2 punch in a ramp can find anything instantly. Bemis deleted.
Rob's good for two, though. Suddenly a chance. Hunter will shut it down regardless, and Dexter, fully flashed off, will continue to be blind and white. Acor, the only hope they have, and he's seen a shadow. They don't check it yet. That's a big magic. Oh, they're not checking it, but he's missed the shot, and he's got the chance for turning around in a second. Nico in a 1-on-3 now, and AWP isn't the best weapon for the situation, especially against 3 pistols. We're going to be trying to push up closer to him. And when G2 will lose out one eco round, you have to say, I suppose it's a little bit of karma after what they just did to mousesports.
Yeah, a little bit of payback.
Yeah. And it seems like it's the exact same thing. It's just neglect which allows one player to come out on top. Robs with his 2 kills, that's forgivable. That's a very tough angle to come through with a double swing. You have to be so hyper aware of someone from CT spawn, but not checking Acor. Ooh.
Well, it's almost thievery that Ross gets away with 2 there. It doesn't seem like the bullets have fully reset aim-wise, right? But he somehow pulls 2 out of thin air. That's what added to the lackadaisical clearing of the site as well. Well, finally some good graces falling into the mousesports court on these 4 spy rounds. Or just upgraded pistols, rather. G2, they're prepping for a burst. They want to go quick.
And this is big with the positioning. They got caught in between the rock and a hard race. Rob's good for 1. Beam is the same. Looking for more, but Jax will shut him down. Rob's still alive. Keeping the angle. And Frozen's been given the time, but Nico's been given the space. Finds Acor, shots him down. Hunter, meanwhile, lurking all the way over towards that B-bomb site. Nico, with the bomb completely gone. It's up to Dexter at this stage. He will be the decider of whether or not they can win this round. If he can just find this kill, it would change it all, but Dexter's gone down and suddenly things become a lot more difficult. Frozen has to be aware about CT, and Hunter has all the space in the world and all the time to work with.
Oh, so much time. Oh, Frozen catching a glimpse, so he knows where Hunter's coming from, but immediately looking to relocate. Add to the paranoia.
Nico inching through, a Krieg in his hand, the weapon where he has found so much success on since being forced to switch to the scope weapons. But now the time is ticking away. Hunter is making his way up towards connector. Nico has to be the man to take first contact. Robs is now expecting him to be coming his way. Robs sees the gun barrel. Robs sees him. Robs is taking him down, and Hunter is going to have to clutch it out completely. Robs just buying time, praying for it. Hunter trying to bait out the shot, and Robs is so good on these angles, but not good enough. Hunter does it all, and mousesports in a round which looked like it was theirs. Dexter just gets a little bit too aggressive and gives up his life, gives so much space to Hunter.
Oh, it's a 3-on-5 that's recovered altogether there for G2. How many times are they going to punish mousesports? How many times are they going to win out clutches against this team?
And you start to wonder, is mousesports just getting into their own heads a little bit? That sort of play you see. There's very few situations where you see the player push out of murder hole trying to go to market. A-Core, great shot to start things off though. So maybe this is the round where they can, you know, have a little bit more going their way. We've seen them have some success with the Deagles. Maybe that's where they need to be, just at an inferior buy.
Helmet control firmly in the possession of G2. We haven't had the opportunities to see these late rounds, whether Mouse are going to investigate, you know, go for a flash in towards the connector, explore mid. Haven't seen that 1-3-1 setup or the aggressive stances from that CT side. One time it did happen. It was a swift turnaround. That was upgraded pistols. We don't talk about that one. It's kind of been scratched off the card.
What, round number 5? It's not round number 5 in this game.
Yeah. Looks like Robs is going to get pressured, though. That secondary AWP, he's over at that B-bomb site.
It's also a very flashable angle, and it looks like G2's got those prepped. Starting to move in. Robs has got the first, so they don't flash him off. They don't want to reveal themselves, and it's too much greed. Frozen, meanwhile, completely blind, and he's caught out. Almanek with a MAC-10, famous for it, and for good reason. Robs, however, will now fall. No one on the B-bomb side, and Robs can't find the player he needed to make it a 3v2. So difficult to get this retake sorted, but mousesports want to go for it. Just, you know he's not missing that one. It's a gimme. Even Almanek ready around the corner. Gets another shot through. The lack of head armor is coming back to bite them. G2 get themselves past possibly the most important round that this game will have.
And I have to say, the change that we're seeing here from the setup on the CT side for Mouse is a little bit worrisome. You know, I feel like Robs, when we saw him on that secondary AWP over towards A, he was finding a lot more success. A-Core, I think, you know, we noted how little impact he had in that same respect. But it almost feels like you could see the discomfort there from Robs when he was retaking the angles. A-Core even on the rotation, you know, he bumps his head, losing the AWP at the very end. Not as familiar with maybe the rotation paths and some of the better angles to take in that respect. Don't doubt that they'd adapt quickly, but they don't need adaptation. They need perfection to really pull things back.
Frozen's missed Hunter going up. B-Miss has spotted him out now, but Hunter is aware. Frozen still gets the kill. G2. This is the moment where you might just end up giving up the round, and they need to know that. I'm sure they do, but they're doing the right thing. They're clumping up, and they're trying to go over towards the B apartment side. If Dexter can hit some of these shots, it would be big, but the jumping Almanek with the MAC-10 is a bit too much to work off of, and he will end up falling. Dexter just no chance in that situation, rather.
G2 have been so excellent on these executes, these flashes hitting the mark time and time again. So just how blind they were in a full gun round, and well, they know they're up against the pistols, so Almanek's on the chase. Show me the money. Okay, never mind. I may have given you a little bit.
Well, I mean, saving a MAC-10 is hardly anything to write home about, you know? Send a letter to your mum, off in boot camp. Hey, mum, I saved a MAC-10 today. She's going to tell you not to come back. Definitely going to be staying quiet about that one, but maybe there's something you can do in the next round. It's getting into dire straits for Mouse. We need to see a change, that's for sure. Maybe some sort of heavier mid-contest would go a long way.
Yeah, you can see they're looking for solutions. They've called a tactical timeout here for Mouse. And this is maybe where we would expect to see the likes of Rops or Frozen go for one of these aggro plays they like to do. You see, we saw in the phase matchup, Rops and Cold Zero duke it out in towards Palace. Frozen is very problematic when it comes to that underpass position. But there's not going to be easy fights wherever they go, but that's where you need to see them step into the limelight a little bit, because G2, it feels a bit more run-of-the-mill. Once again, it doesn't feel as though they're having to pull out the crazy strategies at the start of this game, and that's because they're not being met with the same level of resistance just yet.
you're not. We've only seen Rops go to Atlanta Room once so far. You know, Bemis has been doing a decent job of keeping hold of A main, and you know, I don't want to take anything away from him, but it's not the same Bemis who was just dancing around smokes and fires in the Under Palace area, because G2 aren't having their middle contested at all now. They've chosen a different pathing once again. Almanac has made a lot of noise down towards connector, and they have to be afraid after what Hunter has done to them in these past few rounds.
It's much more passive in the approach here from G2 as well. They were looking at an adaptation to come in for Mouse.
Information
Bam.
given away,
Oh,
but
dear.
oh, not like that. Almanac is so damn good with that weapon, isn't he? He's ridiculous.
He rang his bell, the door opened, and Almanac said,
Get
"Hello,
out of my
who goes
house.
there? You're trespassing."
And trespassers will be shot. Quite hard, actually. And many times. 48 seconds, and G2 are looking to trespass onto CT territory, and it has been given up. No one in connector, even if it is being contested from ticket. At least I think it is. Bemis seems to be in that position. Oh, no, actually, he's playing a little bit more safely. Aiko's the one doing that. But they have primed the smoke so many times over. G2 love throwing this one, and now they go forward. Jack's on the entry, as always. A smoke to keep him at bay for a
all
little while,
ruse.
but he's
20
coming
seconds.
around and it's wasting so much time. Over to the B bomb site they go. Almanac has jumped down again. This time, Robs catches him and cuts him off. Going for more, will find the second. Frozen still undetected at the back of the bomb site, and without the time, they can't get the bomb down in time. Robs will fall, though. Suddenly, there's a chance that they'll be able to get it. They've dodged a bullet from Acor as well, and he'll walk right into Hunter's
dear.
crosshair. Even that round, where it looked like they had it all, individually, G2 just overwhelmed and leave Bemis alone. A 1-on-3. He sees the players, he's trying to isolate them, he's trying to nail them down, but there is no one to take a duel against. Bemis, he's helpless, he's flailing, he's drowning. And Hunter will put him out of his misery. 3 kills for him, man. He's been so good today, and especially in this series. Impeccable form.
G2 are the Dementors. Living inside of mousesports' head. Nightmarish stuff. That is soul-sucking defeat. You're right, that did look like it was going to be a mousesports round. There was no margin for error. Getting the 2 kills there on Rops.
Even
That
the
is so
Acor's
heartbreaking.
upshot missing. That makes a big difference. If he finds that shot,
Yeah.
the bomb drops. God. Thinnest of margins. But G2 walks them like a trained tightrope artist. And
They are
mousesports.
going to need a happy memory. They need a good, solid Patronus charm.
Listen, mate, there ain't no loop in here. Remus has checked out. It's a full moon. No one's here to save them. No one's here to teach them that Patronus.
Because of this low buy as well from Mouse, it's going to be about where the wolf lies.
And G2, I mean, for them, it's been a bit of a lone wolf show too. Hunter's just been seemingly all over the map and just doing everything. It all comes back to that one round where he finds a kill to Dexter and then clutches out the 1v2.
Yeah.
That was a round where, you know, you thought maybe mousesports get some momentum under them, get some wind in their sails, all the other metaphors. Now, hands together, eyes above, praying for another miracle. But Hunter has taken that moment to find one, but maybe there's an opportunity. 3 quick kills from all of these players, and it's going to be more. Acor with 4. Nico now left alone. He's wondering where his teammates went, but he's about to give them company. It's a 1-on-2, definitely doable. Time to try and play around, but it's given the CTs a lot more room. Now the bomb plant is truly coming through. 2 AKs picked up. Nico with the bomb planted. Rops wants to peek camp, but they want to go for a double peek. They know he has an op. Their prayers might be answered yet, but Nico is still the demon to get past, and Rops will put him down. What in the world? I want to go to the Temple of Mousesports at this point because somehow they have been given a miracle.
That's the second time We've now seen a very low buy work out here for Mouse on the CT side. It's the only saving grace that they can latch onto. That has gone catastrophically wrong. G2 playing it so cautious, but they fall victim to the thing that they were trying to avoid. If it didn't work the first time, this has to be a rebound moment now for Mouse. They get the double up back in their hands. Economy, you know, it's still a little bit in that shaky territory, but they've got some buffer built up because they were saving. And if we don't see a resurgence now, and I don't think we will ever for the rest of this half.
Look at this aggression from Ross. It doesn't find anything, but it keeps so much more control of mid. They know there's at most maybe one person here, but Hunter's crept past the smoke, and they're already on the A-bomb site. Almanek needs to find the kill. Frozen's good for one, but the trade immediately found, but still alive, still waiting. The AWP has been seen now. He drops down, and they know it because of the Molotov take, but Bemis is good for another. He's back under Palace, and this is where he excels. Nico still can't come out. That AWP only being used to safeguard what it can, but Hunter is always the sleeper agent. Having crept through the smoke earlier, it is capitalized, but maybe it's Dexter's turn for payback. It'll be the same murder hole, and it's a smoke for him. He's looking to move past. It fades away. There's another right behind. So many doors to go through, and Dexter has gone forward, but Acor in the meanwhile has rotated back towards jungle. They need a kill. They find one, but it's traded too fast. Now Acor misses his shot, and that's a chance gone away. Next up, mid-air! Somehow blocked out with the headshot. A one-on-one. He's got the kit. Location somewhat known, but Hunter, he's a slippery little fella. And this eel is coming in. It's electric. Hunter again bails his team out at the worst possible time. 16-8. What a carry.
Yeah, Hunter is making a meal out of these mice. 9-3, and so many rounds where it looked like it may have just been turned the other way. He turns the other cheek, creeping the connector. That's a play he's made multiple times, but they still don't have an indicator as to when it's coming.
Frozen again trying to go for something similar. This time without the smoke to help him out. Acor reveals his position. They're hoping that Frozen will not be checked. Maybe he won't be. Now he's see. Oh my God, Jax! What in the world? I didn't know he earned that much. He just bought himself a Ferrari.
Man, they need something. I don't know what it is, but they need something. They've changed a few things up here on the CT side. They've tried to go for some different plays, but G2 just seem to have a read. They've looked so good this series. The prep that's come in has been paying dividends. And they need this double ult to work out here for Miles if they want to turn it around. I said the last round was the last chance. This really is last chance saloon. Dexter, nothing found on the spray. Acor is here, and they haven't quite sussed him out yet. Oh no!
He will get the second. Maybe that's all they need, but he can't keep going. The flick not there. Almanek on the Mach 10. The natural enemy of the AWP. Always the SMGs. It's always what you learn when you're getting into CS. If you have an op, don't worry about the rifles. You are the king of them, but beware the gun without the law. The movement god, the Mach 10.
Yeah, that's the big thing as well. And one thing that teams should almost learn to adopt right from G2 is that they are very, very adamant about getting the SMG in rounds where they want to go fast. It's one of the things that did set them apart. And I know it's something that other teams have explored, but they're the team I see the most do it, right?
It helps when you have the best Mach 10 player in the world.
Probably does.
But you're right. I mean, how many times have we seen shots being missed because Almanek just has a ridiculous movement advantage jumping out of window? Just that one instance is such a game changer.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're scrambling for cash on that CT side.
Exactly.
You know, all it takes is one stray bullet when he's flying through the air. The Mach 10 is good jumping in accuracy.
And it helps if you've got two players like Hunter and Nico on your team who you always want to give an AK or not to, so money's not going to be an issue for them either. Really is the best of all the worlds.
We're seeing a better numbers performance here from Acre on the CT side, but we've seen a lot of missed chances.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's fair to say as well.
Oh, so many. In all fairness to him, maybe more chances than he should have been given. Unfortunately, his teammates aren't quite in the zone either, unless they have a deagle in their hand. Acor, however, I like this aggression, but he turns around at the worst possible time. It's just nothing going his way. G2. Now Nico, he's trained on the angle. Good flash.
Eats the flash, though. Yeah, now Acor has the angle.
It's just a
The game of tennis, they are literally just throwing flashes at one another to take up this same ang. And finally, stalemate comes to a close. Nico's out of there. You can have the apartments.
If only Wimbledon could end that fast, but Jax, run boost across. He's had some pretty insane entries. Bemis. Angle he really favors over in Sandwich. Frozen.
Dexter.
He's got a lot of information, but this could actually end up working out against them if he goes
A little
towards
late
A.
as well.
Yeah, the timing just not working out. Instead, he'll be trying to be the second prong of attack from maybe A main, or just trying to find out if there's someone in Palace, as G2 has often left. But with 30 seconds, he has to realize he has to run, and Rops has been taken down again. It's a Mac 10 doing all the work. Bemis can't find anything, and Frozen, the only person left on this bomb site. Acor will at least assist from up long. He's got two. Dexter as well. Great position. So much damage, but he can't find the kill. The smoke gives Jax cover.
They still don't know about Frozen.
Frozen is undetected. Will this be a repeat? There isn't the
And the time?
This should be it. Frozen should be able to peek out. He goes through, and he is the Terminator. We'll find them another round. Negligence has been G2's biggest nightmare. But mousesports, man, their economy is still just not in a good place.
It's just rough to be reliant on mistakes being made, especially when we call back to the last game we saw from Mouse on Mirage here in DreamHack Masters. Was their T side, you know, they fell off a cliff as well. They didn't get any rounds, so they needed a good performance in this half, it felt like, but it's just been G2, you know, these small mistakes. Even with these star performances from Hunter, I mean, Amanek as well, he got a double entry in a gun round where he's got a Mac 10.
And I mean, I can't commend Amanek enough. You look at the first map, he's playing such a passive AWPing role on the CT side of Vertigo. You show me that guy, now you show me him. If you take the name tags off, I would tell you you're silly. I'd tell you you're stupid, outright dumb, if that's the same player. But no, apparently I'm the one who really needs to check himself. Amanek's been just a completely different player on Mirage, and both of them equally, if not more so, impactful with the Mac 10, really. Now, Rob's always reliable for that particular set of movement. But can he be relied on for a few kills here? Jack is trying to go in. He expected it, but Robs will come out on top.
Oh, Smoke will give up where Dexter's playing from. They know, but Amanek's jumped out. Still, Dexter comes out ahead. Hasn't dropped off as of yet. The Molotov may flush him forward.
Fight fire with fire, I suppose. What can kill a Mac 10? Only an MP9.
Yeah, they're stagnated, though, in these apartments. 3 on 5.
They are locked in. Secondary flashbang, very well timed as well. Will be able to give him the time to go for the jump peak. Sees 3 players. Hunter has crept out, though, and that's not expected. Dexter's going to be visible. Hunter's taking him down. He's been given the chance, and it could be Frozen to save the day. Indeed, he's found one, looks for more, but Nexus shut him down. Nico with another 2 versus 2, and somehow it has come to this again. An advantage situation which looked like it was impossible to lose out on. At least Acor should have been coming here silently. I don't know if Nico has an idea, but he is checking it regardless. And Bemis is left alone. A 1-on-2. So much to do. All their hopes lie on his shoulders. It looked like this was another round that was destined for to be theirs. But Hunter, again, so many shenanigans. Bemis clearing out the angles, moving past. He's managed to dodge the first shot, but can't adjust in time. 11-4, G2 are getting dangerously close to the victory. Can they come through? We'll find out after the break.
desperate, crazy, or is it that they never see things my way? Around the world keeps turning, waking up day after day, hoping to change my story, or maybe see things in a different way. Maybe if I took a chance and got out of my way, a different point of view would maybe change the day. Gonna find somebody who's gonna treat me right. I know they're out there. Yes, they're out there. I won't give up the fight. No, gonna find somebody who's gonna treat me right. I know they're out there. Yes, I do. I won't give up the fight. It's not about pretty faces or something that's clever to say. I'm looking for someone special who speaks to my heart in a spiritual way. Gonna find somebody who's gonna treat me right. I know they're out there. I won't give up the fight.
G2 Esports have been on a tear. G2 Esports have had a man called Hunter who's lived up to his name. He's been able to creep through every opening. He's been able to come through every crevice. He's been able to track every trail. And he's been able to absolutely decimate mousesports' hopes and dreams. Michael, Yumi Cassidy on the microphone with me, and we are watching a bloodbath.
Yeah, 1x bet. You saw the odds up there. You can understand why. 1 to 8. So the needed pistol here for Mouse. They're congregated into the B apartments and they're trying to make a move quick. The nades have sailed out the flashes as well. Armanek still a bit confused, but he still slipped the net. Finally finding a kill on Rob, the doubling up as well. Armanek holding things down over at B, but the rotation still delayed here for G2. A man up, that bomb can get planted.
Nico's waiting around this corner. He's going to need to find this kill onto Frozen instantly, but doesn't have much time before they start to swing back to the benches. Dexter will take him down, and Hunter and Nexa are going to try and bring it back. A numbers advantage, but Frozen will equalize. Maybe not for long. Jax and Bemis with the sliding headshot. Jax and Bemis, now the only ones left in a one-on-one. Jax trying to round the corner, going about, but Bemis is playing this so well now. He's got the information. He's just got to waste the time, but there is a kit to be picked up. Is there time to go for it? It seems like there is.
Oh, it's gonna be real close, but yeah, I should just have it. Yeah. Oh, man, that is so rough. It looked as though Bemis might have just done enough, but Jax comes in clutch. And that clutch stat just keeps getting piled on further and further. They have a long way to go to meet up matchup-wise, but that was a needed pistol there for Malz, and you could see the delay tactics for G2 working out enough. Armanek getting the 1 kill, excusable. The second, that is murderous.
And despite a nice...
And you have to force if you're Malz, right? You don't have many rounds to play off of.
And even here, you are still continually constricted by the fact that Rops is the one on the scout instead of Naku.
I mean, 25 seconds in, we've got 1 smoke left.
Yeah.
So they need some of these duels to find success, and it looks like Nexa is just hovering, waiting to pull the pin on this one.
And He's in such a strong position to just speak out. The second Rob shows himself, Nexa's just ready to pounce it. It seems like he's aware of exactly what's coming in. Arm and Neck with the AUG, good for one, and it's time to go in. Robs is taken down by a nade. That's a full damage one, if I'm not wrong.
It's a little M4-1-2 punch.
Okay, fair enough. You know, that's
Easy
silence.
enough, though.
Silence one. Never really can hear it. That's a magic trick, but even so, 50 seconds, and already mousesports look like they don't know what to do in this round. Bemis is back to his old CT position, but Nex is the one with the grenade again. It's not going to finish the frag, but he will be able to swing up for the MP9. That's just as easy as can be for G2 Esports. Goddamn. That might be it.
Yeah, I think they've had enough lifelines this game here on the side of Mouse. You know, they've had these moments where they could have just keeled over, only for them to be flashes in the pan. 13-4. Don't adjust your screens. Don't let your eyes deceive you. This is domination here for G2. Even in the face of adversity, they've been able to claw those advantages away from Mouse time and time again. Minor blunders here and there. And that's all that Mouse have to the tally. He's just ready for more and more fights, and well, it's just against pistols. It's a limited armor, and that's already been taken to low affairs. And G2 don't look all too timid about how this one has played out. They know they sit in the driver's seat. We need to see something outlandish for Mouse to bring this one forward. Bomb's over at B while all these shots are being fired the other direction. Problem is G2 aren't going to move an inch regardless, unless kills are found.
With this much time left, they know they would be trained around side too much. Frozen, given a few chances, but Almanac is able to duck out. Robson next to extrain some kills, but it's all about Dexter at this stage. Still no rotations coming out from the CTs. And Dexter knows it. He would have heard the footsteps otherwise. He's aware that it can't be 0 people in B. Of course not. Frozen as well, just buying this much time, and it seems like G2, they know. They're keeping an eye out for it. Dexter's going to reveal himself pretty soon. Flashbang will force him back as well, and yeah, man, I mean, G2's got a 14th already. And they won't, I mean, this is so hard. This is so hard.
It cannot be understated just how much cleaner they have looked coming into this. You know, the caveat was going to be there. You know, G2 have been doing their own soul searching as well. Mouse, you know, they've been changing things up, expanding their map pool, trying to integrate and adapt to the play styles that they have to work around. We're coming in, and we just haven't seen Mouse attend the same game.
That grenade could be big. Does heavily chunk down Acor. In the meanwhile, Nico, inside connector, it's the old faithful for him. He loves this spot. And it's between him and Hunter, and that is a dangerous crossfire. Mouse might be looking to pull the trigger a little bit sooner because of that lack of utility, but not before they boost Frozen in to try and take the duel versus Hunter, who has held a passive angle. If Frozen wants to peek this, Hunter will have the advantage. Either player really budging an inch. Nico's the one to be making all the noise, and in the meanwhile, the CTs have already pushed through B apartments. They know exactly what's coming over their way. And now Frozen's visible, but he gets the kill. Hunter had to adjust his aim, and that's what makes him lose out the chance of the last bullet. As it's so slow, Nico will go down. That makes it a lot easier for their side. Nexa fully blinded up, and as they climb forward, Acor has fallen in the back lines. Nexa could still make a crossfire with him, and Jax with 2. This might be it. Nexa lines them up as well, and Frozen. 10 HP is what separates him. Sure, he gets the first, but without the bomb, Nexa and Armanek completely held the Armanek from behind, pushes all the way through from the B apartment, and that's 15 for G2. They're on match point, and I don't see anywhere for mousesports to get back into this.
Yeah, that looks like the final nail in the coffin. Just as soon as they get some openers, they have an advantage. It's again plucked right out of their hands. I mean, you look at the tear that Almanac's been in after that first half. You know, Hunter was leading predominantly, but now Almanac is neck and neck. We need 11 straight for Mouse. And they're putting it predominantly, again, on a slower default round. They've loved this. As of late, very reactive to what G2 are going to offer up. You know, looking for information, but G2 haven't given them all too much to follow. Rob's already low. That Molotov singeing him down. Utility damage at the start. Let's see if they can set up in a similar fashion. Lots of connector presence and pressure going to be applied. And they may find a timing. They're boosting over the gap in the smoke. Nico's back is turned.
Nico will end up falling, and that's Bemis' Kyoto shot rushing in. It's a lot sooner than they normally do, and they've caught them off guard, but Almanac's good only for one, and that should be the round decided. Mousesports do at least get themselves past potentially the most difficult round they're going to have if this is going to be a comeback. You know, they're always going to have more money than this if they keep winning, and if they don't keep winning, well,
they lose.
They'll lose. There you go.
Seems redundant, but there can be no mistakes.
Yeah. The perfect game is required from them from this point onwards. They've had a few
to go with that as a stark contrast between how they had to perform, or how they performed against FaZe. You know, 0 rounds on the T side. Now they need every round on the T side.
Oh my god. Not a good place to be in even now. Still, I love the synchronized movement backwards just to make sure that there's no one over there on the hunt, but G2 are more concerned about their own money. They want to shut this down quickly, and again, that comes down to a great timing from Bemis, and it's a change of pace that we haven't seen from mousesports yet, even from yesterday. You know, it hasn't looked like they've been able to really get onto a bomb site with 1 minute left on the clock. It's always been that 30 seconds. It's always been that 20 seconds where G2 are so hyper aware of all these different angles. Now, this is going to be the last big full gun round from G2 for a few at least, but they've started off so well. Almanac aggressive inside. Palace has found himself one.
And they were still hovering behind that smoke in towards the ramp. Really not expecting that change to come through, and that's what G2 love about this position. They can make the move. Almanac gonna miss the flick. Head only offered up, but he's called for a rotation for help to arrive. He does get plucked out of the bomb site. Nico not there to support, but they've got Palace as another avenue to defend from.
This is still such a strong crossfire between Nexa and Nico. It's so difficult to get past. They have to find the perfect timing, but Frozen's done it. Hunter's dead, and now Nico has to take a lot more care about his back line. Jax is there to defend temporarily.
Nexa.
They won't, and he's looking to be the neglected one. That Molotov as well would buy so much more time. Good damage onto Acor as well, so much so that he's down to 28. I think there might have been a bullet in there as well, but look at Frozen's positioning. He's the one who's trying to flank the flankers. Jax is hunting for him. He's searching for him. He seems to be aware of what could be coming, but maybe that's just in an attempt to try and save. That is what is on the menu for G2. Once again, mousesports are able to find themselves the entries needed for the A-bomb site, despite losing out Robs early on.
Yeah, I really thought G2 were going to contest this one. Nexa taking up that Palace position, they smoke it off. So, you know, there's that indicator, the idea that Mouse will have that in their head, understand that Nexa is an A-sided player as well. But there was that opportunity. Nobody was honoring the smoke. G2 not finding anything from the spreading out, expecting the late round rotations there from Mouse as well. If they don't get the kills, they just think about further rounds. Very conservative approach. They've got this lead. They don't want to let it slip. Even if the chance of it happening is very, very low.
Mousesports going for tried and tested. Once again, the A-bomb site seems to be their destination. Not really much shown off on mid either, outside of just a smoke for window and a Molotov for connected. Very standard stuff. This is one of the rounds where they struggle generally. There's pistols in the hands of the enemy team, then mousesports have got a few extra beats spread down their brow. Jack smokes himself off initially. They're creeping out into Tetris. Nico is here to provide support. He's got himself the first. Dexter's dropped, and Frozen and Beamers respawn instantly. They've got the kills necessary. Frozen can even keep down a lock on Hunter from pushing forward into mid. Once again, Bomb should be able to go down without too much difficulty. Nico is now hunting for Frozen. Last time they weren't quite able to find him. This time they're going to go slightly further ahead. There's a USB debate, but Frozen's still good for the spray. Hunter, the only person left alive, and he would really like to save that gun.
Yeah, we're going to now elapse over the 7th round of this half, and Hunter's still not really found too much impact thus far. He was very influential in a lot of late round decision making there on the T side. Hasn't had a piece of the pie as of yet. Mouse still getting more added to the tally. Still a very lengthy journey. And all it takes is those small changes, right? We saw Armanek get aggro into Palace. He'll look for other avenues. One of the things that G2 are going to be utilizing, we saw Mouse just neglect mid very frequently, or try and go for aggressive plays early, only to concede it. G2 have a timing where if that mid control is taken, they do like to, you know, flash the top side of connector, fight for a bit more information. And they'll have opportunities to do that, given that they have the round buffer.
Not sure if Hunter wanted to try and get a little bit more aggressive, but he does miss the movement slightly. Will still be able to get past. No one's really contesting, and he will have that full knowledge over on the short catwalk. G2 sticking to the triple mid setup. And Jax at this stage, if he goes for the jump peek, it would be death even without it. Acorn almost lines it up through the smoke. Seems like a set play is coming through from them. Frozen. What is that smoke he's lining up? It's going out. Oh, that's a window smoke. Wow. Interesting. Acor has found Nico in the meanwhile over in middle, so again, some sort of advantage found for the court of mousesports. Where would the ball go?
And this is where that slower style can really help out, is that you can punish aggressive plays should you have the timings down. You can see that they're reconvening over towards the A side of things. So much utility has been kind of thrown and baited out. They've been pinning nades and then throwing them back, and G2 are gambling over towards that B side. They have no utility themselves, only the kit on Hunter. So making this choice is a conscious one. They are going to concede this round should they go A, which is exactly where Mouse are headed, but it's about conservation of cash. See how much damage Frozen can do. Throw a wrench within the gears.
Poking around in the belly of the beast right now. It's like when Dexter through a flashbang jumps up into 3 players. And Frozen will at least realize that it is a stack coming through. If they hadn't already known that. Still, mousesports know that they have faltered on many a favorable position. I'm sure they won't be too eager to go hunting.
Yeah, sometimes we see teams go for these gambles and then attempt the retake afterwards, but that was never going to be the plan here for G2. They know how much that economy matters on that CT side. And while Mouse will have lots of money in the back pocket, they don't exactly have things to spend it on.
Not really that great to give someone on death row $1 million. But this can now use their millions to break out of prison, get to overtime, fight for freedom. If you're G2, another gun round or two is definitely going to make you sweat. Again, I will reiterate from the first map, they are a team which has a history of fumbling on the finish lines at times, but this would be a pretty damn big fumble if they do end up letting mousesports bring it back. Timeout comes out, and you can see Hunter's just very pensive, waiting. I'm sure Malik's having a word with them.
What is going to be the word spoken? I wouldn't even try and do an impression. I wouldn't know how to be as eloquently spoken or motivating.
See that smile on Hunter's face? That's a dangerous one.
Yeah.
Has been largely avoided on the CT side so far. Let's see if he can do something about it. Great spawn for mid, so if he wants to go for the jump again, that might be the call, but instead, straight to B he goes, and it will just be Nico. Almanac is the one with the AWP this time over. Nico is trying to spray through. Almanac will also do the same with his ult, but no damage really found. Onto the mousesports camp.
All it takes is one misstep.
And Rops loves to do this, the secondary op. Rops will sometimes take a secondary op into the most ridiculous positions. I've seen him do it on Inferno and side a few times over. Just solo takes the op forward, trying to find anything, and this could have been one of those kills which changes the game, but instead, they might just be thinking it's A-Core over there.
The double ramp setup.
Oh, Almanac gets the first, backs off, but Bemis is there with the trade. Grenade goes in deep, it doesn't do anything. There's still time for mousesports and G2. They've seen this before, but now it's a commit, and they've missed the shot. Bemis will come through with a second entry. Nico, considering what to do. This is still viable to go for, but it's a trap for G2. If they end up giving up their weapons, that will be massive. But even then, Frozen is aware of their tendency to save. He could be the one to break their economy at this stage. Are they expecting it, though, is the question. Hunter definitely heard. Frozen can go for the peak, sees the player, gets the first, will turn around, though, and that's Nico's cue. Let's shut him down. G2. That fumble, that missed shot, that is everything, and Bemis will capitalize.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be on the mark, and then it's a sharp flick. Trying to adjust for the swing. We've seen a lot of CT op shots missed. In general, I think, this game. More and more being added to the scoreboard here for Mouse. It's hard to read into these because Mouse are making the right movements. You know, they're getting the solid entries, and they're topping off the round as a result of that. But it's just it's very hard to put stock in that just yet until they get a little closer. This will be weighing on the minds of G2, the fact that they had such a substantial lead, but only 5 thus far. Really acquitted over to the Mouse side. Not going to be sweating just yet.
Almanac is aggressive. He's revealed his position, wants to make them second guess around that corner, but mousesports are still committed. Now this could go very wrong.
Where's this trifecta? Boost up? Seems like he was thinking about it.
They decide against
hovering the angle.
It's a fast A hit coming through, one that has given mousesports so many rounds so far. Rops though, nated down. No one really to fight up against. They aren't using their smokes. Bemis has gone through with one, but Almanac on the Deagle's good for a return. Can he get more? That's the magic question, but he doesn't have the magic hands. Can't quite connect, but will inside the smoke get damage only to be returned fire on by Bemis. Once again with the second entry, and the bomb can go down, but there's players in CT, and they are being flushed out, but Nex has got time, A-Core's got shots, Rops has got fire, and J2 don't have much life left in them. A 1-on-2, and Nexa attempts it. The MP9 all that there was to lose, and lose it he will. Double digits for mousesports. Who could have thought?
And ironically as well, the round that is even closer than some of the rounds previous where G2 have had full buys is of course the lower buy.
Are we surprised?
No, that's the answer to that one. But they dodged that bullet. They've sustained so many of them as of late. Maybe building up an immunity. Underpass the route. Nexa behind the smoke, and Rops is on the other side of it.
Who's gonna win this one out? That's oh my
for both of them.
god! For a second there, my heart just stopped beating. Fortunately, Nexa's heart is still very much kicking.
I almost feel like you're more anxious than some of the players in all honesty.
Probably for the best. You don't want G2 to be that anxious when mousesports is mounting potentially what could be a legendary comeback.
Oh yeah. Connector, flash primed.
Nico's
They want to fight for this.
They need to fight for this. They've been giving up the early advantage so many times over. It's
Oh.
always Bemis. It's always him again. Finds himself the first. Hunter's looking to peek out. He gets the timing, and Acor is down. Now, inside is frozen, but Robs finds Nexa. The patience pays off, and the gargoyle once again reigns supreme. Dexter burning, but it's Amanek. Oh my goodness, Bemis! Shades on, problems gone. That's not a sight you want to see when you're scoped in from CT.
Oh,
That is comical.
Yeah, he was really not ready for the closer angle. That's a jump scare.
I got scared. Wait,
Yeah.
Drax will.
Drax.
But not for long. I think you're right. I might be slightly more anxious than the players.
Well, they've brought it within 4, and now the possibilities are opening up. G2, they know not to invest in this one. They'll be missing out on too much utility, so it's a half buy. Again, concerns around rounds like these.
Yeah.
But if Mouse keep the track record running, then they will close in on that gap, and then it's only 1-2 more gun rounds to face off against. Becomes so much more feasible. A lot more presence over towards short at the start of this one. Mouse have changed things up. That bottom side connector smoke, no one peeking above it as of yet. Oh, Amanek fancy to jiggle, and Acor has plucked him out. Oh, there's the entry as well over at B. There's no one close enough here for G2 to contest. This is looking like another clean round for Mouse.
Listen, I think Freiburg from 2013 called Bemis. You can have your mouse back, because the entries this guy's getting, they're unreal. Michael, we don't even see entries like this anymore. It's so rare to have a player pop off to this extent where he's winning every single entry duel. Even against pistols, it doesn't matter if that's an anti-eco kill. That's a deagle on the other side. By the way, interesting stat. If I'm not wrong, Hunter's had 2 kills this entire half. I just checked. I might be wrong about that. It might be 3, but definitely not more than that.
Yeah, he's not really had. It doesn't feel like he's been in the right spots to deal with it, in fairness. But yeah, he's kind of fallen off a cliff.
Absolutely.
Considering the massive amounts of impact he's having on that T side, that is for certain.
I think they'd be
Additional opening kills for Amanek is sky high, but hasn't been in rounds as of late. He's 9-1 in opening fights. That was all due to some of the entry work he was doing on the MAC-10 as well, the other side of the equation. That's a distant memory, though. We're all about this clawing back of rounds here for Mouse, but there's still some adversity to be met, and G2, the closer they get to this, the more likely it is to go for more conventional setups as well. It's all about whether they decide to change things up, and so far this default from Mouse has been finding success in getting and plucking apart the defenses.
Amanek not quite finding that one-way smoke he was looking for by extinguishing the flames. Might just end up regretting that using that smoke, but now G2 seem to be slightly wiser to the tricks of Mouse. The A-bomb site, much more heavily set up. Jack's on the ladder. But 3 players around the corner. They're going to be rushing through. Bemis will clear it out initially, but he is ready. He's so aware. He knows everything. But the second man is Dexter, and he's covered for his teammate's death. Nico will respond. Sure, it's a 3v3, but a Molotov to flush him back as well. They just know all the answers. And Acor expects that repeat. Robs, meanwhile, pushes through a smoke. That could be Hunter's demise very soon. Destined, but the bomb has been dropped. And oh, God, Hunter getting a taste of his own medicine. Amanek knows he has the bomb, so it could be his chance. 40 seconds left to play with, and a flashbang is dodged. Mousesports picks up the kid, and he's found the angle. It's 35 seconds on the clock from Frozen, who's always lurking. Not like that. Amanek will save the day. One that looked long gone, but it's G2 to take the series. mousesports, a comeback toward it, and look at their faces. So nervous is Hunter.